freedom, liberty, and honor. We can save America. Welcome to the experience.
3, 2, 1.
Hello and welcome to Dylan Atkins We Can Save America. I am Dylan Atkins. You can always get a hold of me on dylanforamerica@gmail.com. I'd love to hear from all of you. Hello and welcome. I am Dylan Atkins, and this is Dylan Atkins We Can Save America. You can always get a hold of me on dylanforamerica@gmail.com. First thing up today is a friend of mine, Sienna. Her mom lost her job recently, and the reason why is an astounding reason, and we are going to get into it. And let's just go ahead and jump into it. Okay. What her mom did, she worked on the Hellfire and Tomahawk missile programs. Now, people lose their jobs in this industry every day, but why she lost hers is a very interesting reason, and it is one that, in my personal opinion, shouldn't have happened. Let me just clarify this. This is not a isolated case. This is happening all over the place when it comes to these programs, and it is going to continue to happen as we get further into the future. Okay. President Obama has decided to cut these programs, and it will cut $128 million out of spending by 2015, which sounds great. When you say we're cutting money, it sounds great if you leave it at that. If you say, look, we're trying to help our spending, so we're going to cut this amount of money out, the $128 million is a good amount of money to cut. It's a pretty substantial amount. In regards to our debt, it's pretty small, but at least it's a step in the right direction if you leave it there. The sad thing is that's not where it stays. But let's just keep moving down here. By 2015, it will cut $128 million out of spending. Sadly, though, jobs go with that. Sienna's mom is one of those, and Sienna's the one that actually brought this to my attention. When her mom lost a job, she asked me, have you heard anything about this? I said no. So I started researching it. Why is it happening? What's going on? So I figured, why not research it? So I did, and these are what I came up with. This is just the byproduct of what I came up with, or my research. So the amount of Tomahawk missiles purchased last year, 2013, was 196. 196 of them were acquired by the U.S. Navy in 2013. In 2015, there will only be 100 purchased. They cut 95 out of their purchase order. By 2015, they're going to kind of scale out through this year. They're going to cut a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit here, a little bit there, until they get down to 100 by the end of 2015. By the end of 2016, presidential election year, by the end of 2016, they will have cut it down to none. They are going to buy none. The Hellfire missile will follow suit of that. They will buy none by the end of 2016. The reasons for the cut is not to save money and cut spending. It's not. If it was, I would say loss of jobs, are sad. The good news is these people have amazing experience. They can go into other fields. Sadly, that is not the reason for these cuts. The reason for these cuts is for R&D on ways to reduce America's greenhouse gas output. The goal is to reduce the greenhouse gas output in America by 37.5% by 2020. Let's look at the effect of cutting these missile programs. First, we have to realize that these missile program, these two missiles, these two missiles, were at the center of attacks in Desert Storm. They were center in the attacks of Enduring Freedom, Iraqi Freedom, Syria, a lot of battles that America has been part of, and a lot of defense, not just offense but defense as well. It has obviously, like I just mentioned, been a part of a lot of offense as well, but it is a very big part of defense. Now, obviously, the effects of cutting these programs is a cut and a loss in protection for this country and protection for the troops that are on the ships and planes with these missiles. So it's effectively this here. Okay, in Washington, well, even in states, in government, in politics, you can get just about anything passed as long as it is in the name of environmental protection, animal protection, or civil rights, or ending wars. Okay, civil rights obviously is an important thing. Protecting the environment is an important thing. Stopping wars is an important thing. But we have to remember, you can't stop wars by not having weapons. That won't stop wars. That will just cause you to lose them. Because other countries want us as the United States to be completely destroyed. So taking these missile programs and cutting them in the name of environmental protection to cut greenhouse gas output over the next years coming up here is, in my mind, I think it is a way to cover up the real plan. The real plan being disarming the military of the U.S. Now, we know that Obama has been trying to do that, and now he has successfully cut out two of the most successful missile programs in the history of the United States Navy, in the United States military, in the name of saving the environment. Global warming, which we have, by the way, proven not to be true. So, but it is changing. It is changing, and that has been proven. It is changing. So they have changed the verbiage, the wordage from global warming to climate change, which can never be disputed because it is changing. Now, what we can prove is that it's following patterns. It's done this before. We are on the edge of another ice age, and that is something that has happened 2 times in recorded history, obviously before recorded history as well. And we are on course, and we are very close. Actually, I think we are overdue. Actually, if I'm not mistaken, overdue by just a little bit for another ice age. So yeah, climate change is going to happen. If it didn't, we wouldn't have seasons. But anyway, that's one effect. Disarming the military, that weakens the United States. Obviously, that is very obvious. Second is loss of jobs, like Sienna's mom. This cuts... Washington is willing to do anything to save the environment of this country, or of the world. But let's face it, it's not to save the environment. They don't care about the environment. You know what they care about? They care about control, and they care about weakening the United States' defenses. And they officially successfully did a good step towards that with this cut. So, To me, it just screams, I want to disarm the military. To some people, it screams, thank God they're finally trying to help the environment. Those people, the people who think that they're just trying to save the environment and yay, we did it, obviously don't equate cutting a missile program with defense somehow. They don't get that, apparently. I don't know how you don't get that, but let's face it, if they're still supporting Obama, there's a lot of stuff they don't get, and they're just not going to. However, people are coming around every day, so you never do know. But let's, just for the sake of generalities and being simple, we'll just say there's not a whole lot we can do. So I don't know if a lot of people out there have actually heard of this. I don't know if it is a big story. To me, it should be if it's not. Because, I mean, it's so simple. It's so simple. They're trying to destroy America's defenses while they are offending other countries. Does it not strike you as odd that those are happening at the same time? They're trying to piss off another country, take away our defenses. Guess what that leaves us? Dead. They're running up the debt. China wants to be paid. We have no defenses. They march in and take whatever they want because we owe it to them. Because our spend happy-go-lucky party every day government thinks it's okay, we can pay it back. Well, the taxpayers can anyway. Yeah. Just take my money because I'm the one that forced you to spend that much. You twit. These people, they just want power. They don't care about the people. We need people who care about the people. We need people who will fight for us, for the people. We still have a voice. We still have an ability to stop these kind of things. We just have to make sure that we vote in people who not only say they want to help the country, help the people, but their track record proves that. And that is a hard thing, especially when it comes to local politics, because it's really hard to say, or it's really hard to look at their track record because they probably don't have one. That's why you have to vote in the person that says they want to help and watch what they do. And if at the end of their first term they haven't at least made strides to help and genuinely help, then you don't vote them back in. There is a big game that gets played in politics, and even the people who want to help sometimes get stonewalled by people in their own party because there are people who want stuff for themselves. So you have to look at their track record not by what they got passed, but what they voted on, how they voted on things, why they voted on things. Because sometimes when you look at a bill, bills are not straightforward. They are not. There may be a bill. A friend of mine actually told me this one. For example, there may be a bill that fixes child hunger in the United States, which sounds amazing. But there may be one sentence in that bill that can ruin the entire thing for everyone else. That one sentence may not have anything to do with ending child hunger, which is a great thing. If we can, do it. I think we can, actually. The amount of food we throw away when we're done eating is incredible. But that one line could have nothing to do with that, but it has everything to do with control. So you might have to, like me being a conservative Christian person, I might, if I'm in politics, if I'm in office, which I aspire to be one day, if I have to look at that bill and that one sentence screams to me control, government control over the people, I have to vote against that bill. Now I can turn around and introduce a bill that solely attacks child hunger and says we are going to end this with nothing else attached. You can do that. But you just have to remember, you have to be careful. You have to know their true intentions on why they voted a certain way on something. But overall, what they voted on will tell you what they really believe. So just remember that. Just remember that. Next up will be Oregon power plant incinerating aborted baby fetuses for power. And that is a real story, and it has been proven. There is a paper trail that proves it, and contracts signed to a hospital in Canada who is sending their aborted baby fetuses to a power plant in Oregon who are incinerating them for electricity. I really have a hard time believing that one. But the sad thing is, it's true. Now, initially, the power plant actually denied it and said, "We are not doing that. Come on, you crazy right-wing morons. Come on. You can't be serious." And then the paper trail came out and the contract came out and they said, "Okay, okay, see what had happened was we did, but we're stopping. We're going to we're going to stop doing that. So don't worry. We did do that, but we're going to stop doing that." You lied initially and said, "No, we're not doing that. Come on. Look the other way. Just don't pay attention to the incinerator behind you." They lied about that. Now, can we trust this power company, now that they've been found out, to actually hold up and say, or hold up and actually hold true to what they said of, "We're going to stop"? Some people may not have an issue with this. I don't know why you wouldn't. You're burning a baby. Yes, it's dead, but still. First of all, it's murdered. Because of abortion. That's murder. That's a whole nother show, and I'll get into that on another show. But anyway, at any rate, this is not. I mean, why is this okay? You know why this is? Do you know why this was done? It was done because they're trying to cut out coal. It was done because we're trying to save the environment. They're trying to save animals so they burn babies. Somehow, in our culture, in our messed up, screwed up, upside down culture, it has become acceptable in some regards to burn and incinerate an aborted baby fetus, a person, a human being. It has become okay to do that as long as it saves the environment, as long as it saves animals. It has become acceptable and accepted in some circles that animals are worth more than a child, than a human. I'm sorry, I don't agree with that. I don't even see how your brain can accept that as logical. Because my brain throws up a ton of red flags and says, why? How? How can you do this and go to sleep at night? It really does astound me. And to be honest with you, this should be. I have not heard much about this. I heard this I heard about it on the Blaze, Glenn Beck's network. And I listened to Glenn about it, and it's. I mean, the paper trail is definitive. The paper trail is incriminating. It has been proven. It is not a. It's not a conspiracy theory. This is actually something that has happened. And they tried to cover it up initially. Once they got found out, they said, "Oh, don't worry about it. We'll stop doing it." And everyone was like, okay. Should they not be punished? Should they not? Should there not be some sort of punishment for this? I think there should. Your microwave is being run by a baby in your home. Your home is being run by a baby who got incinerated for the power. First of all, I don't even know how that works, because a human cannot burn hot enough to create enough power. Coal, and that's why they use coal, because it can burn really hot. So what they're doing is they are adding the baby fetuses and the dismembered bodies when they do amputations and such, and they are incinerating them with the coal to give, so they can use less coal and still get the volume of, size of what they're burning. It's because Obama is trying to cut out coal. Take away coal completely. Completely shut out all coal jobs. Completely shut out all coal production. Everyone who works in a coal power plant, done. Everyone who works to mine the coal, done. The amount of jobs lost by that alone is incredible. And it's all just to save animals. But you don't see them burning dead animals, do you? Not for power. No, they don't do that. No, because somehow an animal has now been put above a human being. A child at that. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for us to wake up, and it is time for us to stand up when we hear stories like this. People, I promise you, news stations, local news stations, they are always wanting a new story. Go to them. If this kind of stuff bothers you, go to them. And tell them your story. And ask, please, help me get this out there. I would not go to your local MSNBC, CBS, or ABC affiliate. If I were you, your best bet would probably be Fox. And everyone has one. Just about every city has one. A Fox affiliate. Go to them. Tell them your story. Tell them why this bothers you. Show them the evidence. And ask them to help. Ask them to get your story out. Ask if they'll put you on the air. Ask if they'll do an article about it, or ask if they'll do a special on it, or a special report, or something like that. And then use that and put it on Facebook. Use the amount of news mediums we have now is incredible. You can use all of them. We have the internet, Facebook, Twitter, goodness gracious, Tumblr, Instagram. I think there's more than that, but I can't remember. There's so many. And then you have all the news sites. You have independent news websites out there that you can get in contact with. They're always looking for a new story as well. You can get these things out there big. That is how you get a voice. That is how you hold these people accountable. Go out there and tell them why cutting missile defense is a problem. Go out there and tell them why using aborted baby fetuses to create power in your home is a problem. They have to listen. If the voice gets loud enough, they can't ignore it forever. So go out there and make a difference. Don't sit around and complain about it. Go make a difference. Go talk to your local elected officials. Be on their case. Be on their case. If they do something that you don't agree with, go to their office. I promise you that their office address is on their website. Go to their office. Don't even make an appointment. Knock on the door. Hey, I have some words with you, if you don't mind. I have some a little bit of an opinion to share. Be nice. Don't be a jerk. That doesn't look good. Be nice. Be respectful. But we can hold these people accountable. That's what we're here for. We are United States citizens. That is what we do. We have to. We don't have a choice. Because if we stay quiet and complain about it in the comfort of our own homes and in our own cars, and we don't make it big, we don't go to these people and tell them what they're doing is wrong, they'll keep doing it. And then we'll look back and say, what happened to my country? What happened to my home? And the only people we'll have to blame is ourselves because we didn't do anything. We have to hold them accountable. Thank you so much for joining me. Again, I am Dylan Atkins, and this is Dylan Atkins, We Can Save America. And again, you can always get a hold of me at dylanforamerica@gmail.com. And I promise you, if it hadn't already, it will show up on the screen. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time.